The Appalachian Mountains are among the oldest in the world. Ancient ridges worn smooth by time, shrouded in mist, carpeted in dense forest, and echoing with whispers that go back generations. Stretching more than 2,000 miles from northern Alabama to the cold winds of Maine, this mountain range is steeped in mystery. It's a place where history and myth intertwine, a place where shadows linger just a little too long, and every creaking branch might carry a story. Today we step into those shadows. This is the Alex and Dom Show, and these are the urban legends of the Appalachian Mountains. I'm Alex.
And I'm Trey.
Chapter 1. The Eyes in the Sky, the Legend of the Mothman. West Virginia, November 1966. A small town called Point Pleasant sits quietly near the banks of the Ohio River. Life moves slow. The kind of town where folks know their neighbors and you don't lock your doors.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know.
You don't lock your doors.
Because it's so safe, back in the 50s and 60s when nothing bad ever happened.
Maybe I should have read that part. Oh, you don't lock your doors there.
Yeah.
It's so safe.
But one night, something changes. They lock their doors. Two young couples are driving down a remote stretch of road near a World War II munitions site. The locals call it the TNT area.
The TNT area?
Yeah.
Like dynamite?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a munitions site. It's abandoned now. Crumbling buildings, rusted gates, weeds twisting through concrete.
Are there still dynamite?
No.
Oh.
Suddenly, their headlights catch something on the road. It moves fast. 7 feet tall with leathery wings and glowing red eyes pierce through the darkness. It flies effortlessly, tracking the car as they speed away. Obviously, it wasn't too fast because they got all this description.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, woo, it's a lot of description for something going so fast.
The creature is dubbed the Mothman.
Not Mr. Mothman?
No, I don't know why it's called a Mothman. I would leather wings and glowing eyes. I would be like demon.
Bat.
Yeah, it's a man bat.
Batman.
Yeah. Over the next year, more than 100 people claimed to see it. Farmers, factory workers, a pilot. All described the same thing. Massive wings, no visible arms, and eyes that burn. And then, tragedy. December 15th, 1967. The Silver Bridge collapses during rush hour. 46 people are killed. No one knows what caused the structural failure that day, but in the aftermath, the sightings stop completely.
So they blame Mothman.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Logical.
Some say the Mothman came as a warning. Others believe it brings disaster with it. But the legend never really left. Even now, people claim to see the red eyes in the fog over the Ohio River. A Mothman statue in Point Pleasant draws thousands every year. Some things stay in the sky.
Like Mothman.
Yes. What do you think it was?
What do I think that the bridge failure was for?
No, I know what the bridge failure was for. It was poor maintenance, and it was the 60s.
What do I think Mothman is?
Yeah, what do you think they actually saw? A lot of people think it was like a type of crane.
Or that glows? The eyes glow?
Yeah, well, they have 2 red spots on their head.
Oh, yeah.
And if the lights pick it up, it probably looks glowy.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
But what if it was Mothman?
Apparently, he's been spotted around the world right before disasters. But, I mean, we also live in a day of AI. So, I mean, like, a lot of shit can be put in photos nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays. It doesn't explain back then days.
Yeah, it does. You just
No,
take
it
the
doesn't.
photo, scan it into the computer, and put something on it.
I don't think... Sorry. I don't think there's any pictures of Mothman. There's drawings.
Yeah.
And he looks different every single time.
Yeah.
But there's no...
Well, the dimensions are the same. He has no arms, just wings.
What? I thought he had arms.
No, it's wings instead of arms.
I thought for sure he had arms.
No.
See? That's what
Other
I'm talking
people
about.
think that he's a dinosaur,
No, what? No.
like a pterodactyl.
No. Pterodactyl's a little bit crazy. But a man moth That makes sense. It's like a prophet.
Like an angel?
Yeah.
Prophet of doom?
But it would help more if he could talk.
No, they don't talk.
He's like, don't go to the bridge.
No. He was just like, I warned you for a whole year, and you still got on that bridge.
He still got on the bridge.
Yeah, I was trying to say, hey, get out of your car.
Don't go to the bridge.
Chapter 2, The Curse of the Wampus Cat.
The what?
The Wampus Cat.
Your
Wampus?
Wampus?
Wampus. It's Wampus.
Wampus?
I would say Wampus. Wampus or Wampus?
Wampus? Wampus sounds funny.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Deep in the Smokies, past the twisting roads of Tennessee, into the thick of the forest, the Cherokees speak of a creature with glowing yellow eyes and the cry of a soul in torment. The Wampus Cat, a.k.a. the Wampus Cat.
Oh.
It sounds better with the Wampus. It doesn't sound as bad as like, do you see that Wampus Cat?
We also have to like take in consideration like the accents.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Well, it's a
Wampus.
It's a Cherokee.
Wampus.
So I don't know how
it's
the
not
accent of a Cherokee would
but
do.
it's not. A white man came up with it. It has nothing to do with Cherokee.
Okay. Long ago, a woman sought to understand the secret rituals of the tribal elders. Disguised in a cougar skin, she crept through the woods to watch a ceremony forbidden to women. When she was discovered, the punishment was harsh. Magic as old as the hills was called down, binding her spirit to the very disguise she wore. Trapped, part woman, part mountain lion, forever cursed to wander the woods.
Mm-hmm. And named her Wampus.
Maybe she whammed a lot. Wham!
Well, I guess that kind of makes sense, actually. That really actually does. We know the sounds that, mountain cats make, so...
Yeah. Campers in eastern Tennessee whisper about the sounds she makes. Not a growl, not a scream, something in between. Like someone wailing through a throat that no longer works the way it should.
It turned into a cat throat.
Yeah. Some say the Wampus Cat only comes out when the fog rolls in heavy.
Oh, I'm not going then.
Yeah.
We're not going to go find out if there's any Wampus cats.
She stalks those who break nature's laws, poachers, vandals, people who disrespect the forest.
I guess never mind, I'm safe anyway.
And the signs, clawed up tent, a single footprint in the dirt, too wide to be a cougar, too padded to be a human. The woods remember, and sometimes they fight back.
In the form of the Wampus cat.
Yeah, in the form of the Wampus Cat. Watch out for the Wampus.
Look out for the Wampus.
Oh, God. Chapter 3, Echoes in the Alleghenies, The Lost Children. The year is 1856. We're in Pevia, Pennsylvania, where the Allegheny Mountains cut through the countryside like a spine of green and stone. Two young boys, George and Joseph Cox, wander away from their home. Just 3 and 5 years old. The family searches, then the neighbors. Hundreds form search parties, scouring the hills for days. Nothing. Until a man named Jacob Dilbert has a dream.
A dream.
A dream. In it, he sees a strange path through the forest, a fallen birch tree, a shallow hollow lined with moss. When he wakes, he can't shake the feeling. He follows it. And there, in the pocket of woods, untouched by any previous searchers, he finds them. The boys laying side by side in the brush. No injuries, no signs of distress. Dead. As if the forest had gently tucked them and taken their breath.
Or, hear me out.
He killed them.
Yeah. He killed them.
Yeah, he killed them and then put them there. I was like, oh yeah, I found them. I had a dream. Yeah, like, if I was a cop, I'm like, you had a dream?
Suspect number 1.
Yeah. The story spread quickly, mutating over time. Now hikers talk about hearing giggles on the wind, small footprints appearing beside their own on snow-covered trails, Flickers of movement behind trees. Too small to be deer, too fast to be squirrels.
Too fast to be human children, too.
I mean, they could be bunnies. Bunnies are bigger than squirrels.
Barely.
The lost children of the Alleghenies still wander, they say. Maybe looking for home? Maybe warning others not to stray too far from it.
Maybe warning others that there's a killer in the woods.
Yeah, that they were killed. They're trying to solve the crime.
They're like, hey, and no one's listening. They're like, oh, there's two little cute little ghost boys. Obviously. You know.
There's a reason they're ghosts.
But, like, none that we're going to take seriously and actually think, it might actually be because they want us to solve their case. It's unsolved.
Yeah. If it's real. I mean,
exactly.
It's a story. Chapter 4. The Whistlers.
The Whistlers.
The sun sets early in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Does it?
Yeah. When the light begins to fade, the woods come alive with the familiar songs of cicadas, owls, and distant coyotes.
Cicadas are gross. And the Wampus Cat.
But sometimes a different sound breaks the silence.
What?
I said silent instead of silence, sorry. A whistle. Not a bird call, not wind, a melody, simple, human. And it repeats. Always the same number of notes, always the same rhythm. They call them the Whistlers.
They definitely lack originality. Could call them like the Melodies or something.
Hikers have tried to track the sound, only to find themselves walking in circles, backtracking unknowingly, losing their bearings. Some believe it's a spirit. Others say it's a creature that lures you in step by step.
Obviously not very well if they're leading them in circles.
That's the ones we know of. The warnings are always the same. Never whistle back. Never acknowledge the sound. Never go off the trail to investigate. There are too many missing persons reports in these hills that simply end with, they were last seen heading toward the tree line.
Mm-hmm.
Some say the Whistlers are just echoes playing tricks. But ask any park ranger who's worked these woods long enough and watch their face go pale when you bring it up.
I doubt that happens. I mean, I know that, people believe, and that's fair. You're allowed to believe whatever you want. Right.
So you think it's just hysteria and getting lost?
A bit of that, yeah. But I also don't think that a park ranger is going to flip his titties when you bring up the Whistler.
I don't know. They see a lot of shit.
They see a lot of shit, yeah. But I don't think he's going to go pale in the face and shit. He's going to be like, seriously? And the hikers who followed the sound, nothing happened to them because they came back to tell stories. Yeah. And
they
let me tell you,
trail, that's why.
The first thing that I would do is whistle back. Mm-hmm. Which is why I can't do any of that nonsense.
Chapter 5. The thing that's not a deer.
It doesn't even have a name?
Yeah, it's called Not Deer.
Not Deer.
You're driving a back road in Appalachia. The trees press close to the shoulders and fog hangs like cobwebs across the windshield.
Disgusting.
It's quiet. Then, just ahead, movement. A deer. You slow down. But then you realize something's off. Its legs bend the wrong way. Its eyes are forward-facing, staring straight at you. It doesn't run when you approach. It doesn't flinch. It just watches.
I'd run it over.
That's not a deer. It's called the Not Deer. A modern legend mostly spread through Appalachian communities and survival forums. It's said to be a mimic, a forest entity that imitates a deer, but gets the details wrong.
Why?
Its limbs are too long. It moves like it's remembering how. Some say it speaks in your voice or someone else's. And once you've seen it, it never forgets you. Hunters report seeing it at dusk, always just at the edge of the tree line. Some have taken shots at it, only for it to vanish into the brush without a trace. Others just stop hunting altogether. If you're in the woods and you feel like something's watching you, look twice. It might be a deer, but if it's not, don't move. Don't speak. Just leave. How you can leave if you can't move?
Well, it's already seen you.
Yeah.
It's going to remember you for the rest of its life. And very important question here. If it's a forest spirit and it can't get the details right of something that's in its forest repeatedly, deers don't just stop existing. How does it get the details wrong? Does it not look hard enough at the deer?
Well, it's probably a mimic, but it can't mimic it.
Yeah, but I'm talking specifically about a forest spirit that can't get the details right of the things in its forest.
You've seen, what is it? Is it Princess Mononoke? Where it was a spirit or whatever?
Yeah, but that was different.
That thing did not look like anything in a forest.
It wasn't supposed to.
I know, but it was crazy looking. That deer thingy scared the shit out of me. It was just like...
It scared me too.
It was like, it had a face. That's what I'm picture of a not deer.
Yeah.
It's the Princess Mononoke.
Except for not like a colored face.
Yeah.
You know, just
Like
a deer colored face.
Yeah.
That'd be gross.
God. The Appalachians are beautiful.
Yes.
Verdant. Peaceful. Alive. But they're also old. And old places have memories. Some are buried. Some are still breathing. Whether it's the Mothman soaring through misty skies, the Wampus cat stalking the dark hills, or the not deer standing just beyond your headlights. These legends are more than campfire stories. They are warnings, echoes, reminders. So the next time you find yourself walking in a trail in the Blue Ridge, or pitching a tent in the Smokies, listen, not just to the birds, but to the silence between them. Because in the Appalachian Mountains, silence speaks volumes. Did you have any more urban legends?
Not exactly urban legends.
Yeah, well.
I have rules.
Okay.
That you are like apparently they're like really widespread. Like these are what you don't do when you're in the mountains or the woods of the Appalachia area.
Yeah. So let's tell our listeners that, just because I'm sure there's going to be some that are going to be like,
let's go.
I'm going to go and test all these theories. You got to hear the rules first.
Never walk off the trail. I mean,
obviously that's with any hiking location.
You know,
there's a reason there's trails.
They're dense forests, and you can get lost quick.
Mm-hmm. Over by where we live, the forest is thick. Mm-hmm. Like you can only see maybe 2 or 3 tree lengths back, and then it's darkness.
Never be in the woods from dusk till dawn. Don't be in the woods overnight.
Yeah.
Which is like scary. You know, like, ooh, don't be in the woods after dark. But also, you'll get lost. You know?
Well, I mean, camp, obviously.
Never answer any unseen voice that calls out your name.
Yeah.
I would answer right off the bat.
I hear that when we're in the house.
I do too. I do too. No whistling or singing. Mm. Which we kind of covered.
Yeah.
You know, with the whistler.
The whistlers, yeah.
But
sounds like a Batman villain, the Whistler.
Yeah, it kind of does. That's a big one. Never focus your gaze on a tree.
So no singing to the tree. So Pocahontas would be immediately murked.
Trees can put on a bit of a show if you let them. If you focus your gaze too intently on a specific tree, especially in the twilight hours, per usual, you might not like what you see. Like some of the older people in that area, they think that the trees are gateways to other worldly areas. Like hell. And also it can make you hallucinate. Like the trees have special powers, but only if you stare at one tree too long. And there's like, apparently it's a specific tree.
Okay, what tree is it?
Doesn't say.
Okay, well I wouldn't be able to tell the difference anyways. I mean,
They're trees.
I know what like an evergreen tree looks like, and like an oak tree maybe. And the only reason I know what a maple tree looks like is because,
I know what a pine tree looks like.
yeah, well, yeah. Which one's the one where you touch it and it's sticky as shit? Is that pine tree?
I don't know. Don't go around touching trees.
Yeah, I think it's a pine tree. The sap from the pine tree. I know that.
I'm the opposite of a nature lover. I don't like to be I don't mind being outside. I
don't like being in areas I'm unfamiliar with.
I just don't get beauty of nature. It's just there.
But I guess, how do you get familiar with an area unless you go to an unfamiliar place? So, I don't know.
It's the same thing with meeting new people.
Yeah.
Never carve your initials on trees.
It hurts them.
Carving your initials into a tree is like knocking on the door of an unseen resident. You never know who or what might answer. And if you put your initials on the tree, whatever it is that's, around or in the tree, now has its permission to go to you.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty sure, like, if I put my initials in a tree, I mean, there's a lot of people with my initials. They'd be haunting a lot of people.
Yeah. I would just carve other people's initials in. Like, my worst enemy.
Yeah.
Start carving. Like, yeah.
Never stack or paint rocks.
All those people with pet rocks. That would be a good horror movie, right? Like, say this person had a pet rock business or whatever.
A pet rock business?
Yeah, trust me, there's a business for it. And they box up rocks. Like, they used to buy them. You'd get a pet rock, they put it in a box, right? And you get a rock, a smooth rock. And then you take it home, and a lot of kids would paint faces on them stuff. That would be a good horror movie. Like, the person just took rocks from the Appalachian Trail, right? And then sold it. And then all these kids were like painting rocks and shit. And then like ghosts and stuff and paranormal shit started happening to the people that bought those rocks.
It would start with the whistling.
Copyright infringement, like, that's our idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it would start with the whistling and then just ramp up from there.
Yeah.
I've read a good amount of horror that will work out pretty well.
It's probably already a book or something. Or a movie.
Yeah,
not that particular idea.
Honestly, not that particular idea, but
like, it reminds me of that. It reminds me of that movie where the family's on vacation and they go to, I want to say Arizona or Nevada, somewhere in the desert where Native Americans were, and they find an arrowhead, and the kid takes it from the land. Mm-hmm. And takes it home with them, and then a Native American spirit, follows him home, and like starts haunting the shit out of him and stuff, to the point where he has to take it back, because you're not supposed to take anything from Native American land.
You're not supposed to take anything from anywhere.
Yeah, like Hawaii, don't take the rocks and stuff. So don't take Appalachian rocks.
Just take the rocks.
Leave shit alone. Like, if it's not yours, don't touch it. That's my philosophy. It's not mine. I don't touch it. Here, don't touch it.
I guess that's fair.
Don't touch it. Don't take anything with you. But definitely come to the Appalachian Mountains, man, and hike them.
Just be respectful.
Yeah, be respectful. Hike them.
Don't whistle back.
They are beautiful. They are very gorgeous. In the summer and in the fall, no one should be hiking in the winter. It's too damn cold. And the snow and shit. It's just, there's no reason to hike in the snow.
Nope.
It really isn't. Unless you're like on an Arctic adventure or something.
Or going to Mount Everest, which is also dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
It's a lot less dangerous now that they got those guys that help you up the mountain. They've literally streamlined Mount Everest. There's a line now to where you can go up to it, right, and take the picture of the summit. There's a huge line there. Because the people that are actually from Nepal and stuff, and Mount Everest, they climb that mountain with like no oxygen. They climb it like with just like a coat on, because they live there. They've climbed the mountain numerous times and stuff, and they do die though, but it sucks. But yeah, like, you can pay like a person to go up there and shit. So they've streamlined it. So it's still dangerous. It's still a very hard climb, but it's not what it used to be.
That's the way it works.
I watched a documentary on it, and the guy was just like, oh, do you like taking them up the mountain? The guy's like, yeah, but they die all the time. The people that take them up there and stuff, and it's like, no, you idiot. He would rather be home with his family, but it's like to taking your fucking white ass up there.
Yeah, and the people that are just permanently there.
Yeah,
frozen. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, you can't take them down on this mountain. It's the same thing with there's a certain rock formation out in the desert that people climb, and you're not supposed to climb it. It's a Native American site. Like it's sacred. You're not supposed to climb there, and people climb up it all the time. And then if they die up there, they got to leave the bodies there. They can't rescue them. If you get hurt up there, if you get injured, too bad. It's they're not allowed to go up there.
No.
That's the risk you take when you go somewhere you're not
supposed to go, yeah.
And stuff, so.
No, that's the way it works. People are dorks.
They're definitely crazy, and a lot of people, I guess, don't know the history or something, so they don't respect it.
Or they know the history and don't respect it.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
disrespectful
people out there, and, you gotta do better.
Do better.
Yep. I know you guys wanted to hear the Menendez brothers episode, but the trial hasn't ended yet. We're waiting. We're trying to gather, because we don't want to lay out a episode and then all of a sudden 2 weeks later they either get out on parole or
don't.
There's actually we were getting ready to record the episode and there was a different development.
So
I was like, oh my god, man,
it was better to just wait.
Yeah, we're gonna wait until
everything's done.
Everything's done. Next episode will be something different, and we'll just keep going until they either finish the trial or we die of old age, or they die of old age.
Or they die, yeah.
So,
well, then we'd finish it then.
Yeah, we'd finish it then. Yeah. But yeah, that's has been the episode of Urban Legends Appalachian Mountains. Obviously, there's so many more, but that was the big ones and stuff.
When you think of that area, you immediately think of Mothman.
Yeah, Mothman. I've heard of the Whistlers.
I have heard of them too.
I've seen TikToks with people's names being called and stuff, and dude, it's one of those things where you don't necessarily believe it, but you're not going to test the waters. I mean, there's some brave people out there.
I'm not brave. I have curiosity. I have to know. I have to know. So I would go just to do it.
Well, every time we go hiking, you do I'm going to hang back and pick up rocks and throw them. So we don't know,
That's fair.
The spirits out there are just taking notes from you. They're just like, oh my god, I got to do this.
Yeah, I do.
You've taught them everything they know. That's what it is. You taught them everything you know.
The best thing to do with the kids. You just hang back, and as soon as something, you be, oh my god, what is that?
Yeah.
Scares them every time. Works perfectly every time. And then they start catching on, and then you can't do it no more. Yeah. So that way.
And then they hear noises and we're like, stop! And it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Or you're hiking along and you're just like that, and you just look around and there's one more person. That's also another legend. Is a group of people were hiking, about 8 people, and when they went to go camp, there was 9 people with them, and there was who's the extra person and stuff, and oh my god, all those stories of the hiking in the woods and stuff give me chills, because like I said, I don't like places I'm not familiar with. I don't really believe in the paranormal stuff. I believe that there's crazy people out there living in the woods, and that will hurt you.
You're talking what is that movie? Wrong Turn and shit?
Yeah, Wrong Turn. So, not deformed or anything like that, but just crazy people. You can be crazy without being deformed.
There's crazy people everywhere.
Yeah, like I said, there's crazy people. God just boarded some kid's boat because he thought he cussed them out. There's crazy people everywhere. Yep. They mostly live in Florida.
They do, and I think that one was in Florida.
Yeah, it was probably. It's just something in the water down in Florida. It's probably all the hurricanes messing up the water supply. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it, and it is a shorter episode, but we wanted to get something out. Next episode will be a little bit longer, so we appreciate you guys, and thank you for listening to the Alex and Tom Show.
Bye.
Bye.